Hello, this is Cara. I'm here today to share the next color in the color palette kit series. That's a mouthful. It is corresponding or coordinating or inspired by the Tim Holtz palette fabrics that you can get at different fabric stores, quilt shops, Simon Says Stamp, etc. I loved the fabrics and I thought, ooh, those would be really fun as paper. I've already released the warm colors in pink, red, orange, and yellow. And what I'm doing is, as Tim releases the fabric, or the fabric company releases the different colors, I am then creating my kits that correspond. I'm a little behind. I have green to do, and before long, teal will be released in May. So what I do is I kind of really like to have the fabrics on hand so I can touch and look. They, of course, a screen looks different than in your hands. So that's part of the thing that's slowing me down. But also, I'm doing the 100-day project and the ABC challenge. So that's kind of slowed me down as well. Okay, so enough about that. But do keep your eye out for green. That's coming soon. And then also, hopefully May, if not beginning of June, the teal palette. And then once all the cool colors are released, which won't be for several months because they keep coming, I'll make a cool palette bundle. But if you're waiting for the bundle, it won't be probably until the end of the year because that's when I think he wraps up the actual palette series with the fabric. I hope that makes sense. Like before, in my other kit share, I wanted to show you the fabric and then how I interpreted that fabric. So here's this one, and he took a bookend page and then they turned that. So he took the paper version, made it fabric, and now I'm reversing the process, right? I'm making it a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So there's his, and here's mine. I think it's so fun and versatile. It could be used for all different things. I just love it. And then this one is my absolute favorite in the neutral palette, and it's this black with gears. Well, printing all black, I think, would be torturous and use a lot of ink. So I kind of pulled back on the black color and made it a little more gray so that it won't be so ink heavy when you print. So you can see mine's a lot more gray, but that was really to save on the amount of ink your printer would need. I did originally have this a darker black, and I was like, oh man, it's not going to work. So it's still very dark if you kind of have it on its own, but next to the fabric, it is definitely in the gray tone. All right, so there's my version. And then this next one, he has a collage with one of my favorite pieces, the keyboard and printers and different advertisements. So there's my version. And then here's his tickets. In every one of his color palettes, he has a ticket fabric. So here it is for the neutral. Very cool. And here is my version. This one I did a little bit differently than my other ones. I went horizontal. No, that's vertical, Cara. I went vertical with my tickets. So there's that one. And then he has a nice grungy wood grain. And here's my version of a wood grain. Again, I wanted the darker tones it has in his fabric to be lighter, so to keep in mind with the printing. And then here's his stamps in the neutral colors. And here's mine. And then some of the fabrics I didn't have like an exact thing. For the palette, what does he call these? Collage strips. At the end of the palettes being released, or the colors I mean being released, I'm going to have a separate collage strip palette with all the different colors. So these fabrics I'm going to hold off until the very end and then make a collage strip digital. So instead of this one, I made another collage with fun advertisements. Very cool. Very Tim-esque, right? And then again, in every one of the palette series, he has a map. So here's his map, and here is mine. I collaged, it's the Riviera of St. Lawrence. Thought it was pretty neat. And then he has this beautiful, love this one too, this beautiful floral. And I did another bookend page in flowers. And then he has this really cool geometric. So instead of geometric, I just took my own path and I did seashells. I thought these are really cool. Okay, and then with the warm palette, I shared some of the pages with Corey Dahman, and she's like, oh, Cara, you should have some backing pages. So in all the kits, I've added 2 that aren't part of the fabric, but 2 backing sheets so that if you were to put this in a journal, you could. I mean, honestly, any of these pages could be backed on each other, but these are typically lighter and less busy in tone. I say that, but then there's this one that's very busy, but I just think it's so cool. And then I've also been making a collage of all the 10 different pages, so there's that. And then, of course, we need ephemera. So in this one, I got carried away, and we ended up with 5 fussy cut pages instead of 4 like the other kits have. So, we have 5 fussy cut pages, all with the neutral colors. And so they're in different sizes, so you don't have to worry about resizing them on your printer. That's done for you. Here's the smaller size. I think it's because my smaller size is actually kind of what the medium sizes were. Anyway, and then we needed some other types of ephemera, more cards that could be journaling spots. And then I've been making in each of the kits a version of how he used to have journaling cards, and so I did that. I just love this dog. He's so fun. All right, so I think this one has 20 pages with the extra fussy cut, and it is now in my shop. I'll have the link below. And I hope you join in with Mix It Up May. So check out the Z is for Zine Mix It Up May video, which is also posting today, so you can get information about that. And as always, I hope you have a wonderfully crafty day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.